everybody. It's Sarah Ayler from softluxcompany.com, and I've got my new friend, May, here. She's also kind of my neighbor. We don't live that far from each other. I think we're probably about 30 minutes away, which in the Bay Area makes her a neighbor. So we're excited to have May on, I think for the first time, or have you been on with Kristen before?
I was on with Kristen. I can't tell you when, but I know that we did make jewelry. Oh no, we didn't make jewelry. I think we made bookmarks.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, I think we made bookmarks.
Oh, was it the book lovers kit? I missed that one.
Might have been. I'm adding beads to stuff. You never really have to twist my arm, right?
I know. Yeah, me neither.
Things.
Well, it's really good to have you here, May. Can you tell our viewers just a little bit about yourself for anybody that is brand new to you, and just give them a little quick bio?
Absolutely. It's great. I'm seeing people in the chat, which is so lovely. I always love lives and meeting up with people. So I'm in Northern California, not far from Sarah, and I've been doing crafting and teaching crafting and working with craft companies for over 20 years now. And it's about to be an empty nest over here. And it's me and my little dachshunds and my husband. And what I've been really noticing, so I love all the crafts, okay? I've been teaching myself to crochet lately. I love sewing, I love scrapbook. I just love all the crafty things and all the making things. And all of this time, beads have been a part of it because beads are very versatile, right? We love beads. I love my beaded jewelry, but we can use them on so much other stuff too, which brings me delight because it lets me justify more beads in here. Lets me justify more beads, as well as being just a really fun way for me to add like texture and color. What I've been working on lately, though, is I've really been focusing on actually reducing my overall stash of stuff that I have in here. I just hit a point in life where it got really overwhelming, where I had so many things all over the place that I would come in here and just like start stressing out and leave and not make things. I was also noticing that the jewelry I'm making, I love, but I don't wear it. It doesn't fit, like it's either scratchy or it's the wrong size or it's not the neck. I'm sitting here on my necklace, like hoping I can pull it and make it longer, or just all kinds of goofy stuff like that. And I love to make jewelry with antique metals, but I don't wear antique metal jewelry very often. So we get into all of this kind of stuff. And I've really been like deconstructing, well, what do I like? And using my sketchbook to figure out, okay, out of the pieces of jewelry I own and have made, what do I wear? Which ones do I wear? Which ones do I like? What do I need to adjust here so that I'm actually wearing and using what I make, right? So that's been my focus. So when Sarah reached out about doing a live, I said, well, that's great because I'm totally redoing my whole everything about, I'm pulling a lot of pieces apart, redoing things, or just letting them go back into the bead drawers to be rediscovered at a later time. I'm doing all of this kind of stuff. And you know what? I'm having a blast, but I'm also actually finally starting to make wearable pieces for me. I know, amazing concept, right? But you know, like I've got a ton of like red and orange and antique metals, and I don't really wear red or orange almost ever. So why do I keep making red and orange jewelry? I like the beads, and that's fine too, you know, but maybe I should be using those colors on, things like bookmarks or purse charms or things that can come along with me that don't have to be worn.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's great. I love that idea of reconstructing, but also sometimes people ask me what to do when they get stuck. And I'm always like, just get the beads out. Don't make anything per se. Don't put that expectation on yourself to make something. Just get them out. There's always beads to sort and like change around. Maybe you decide you're going to change it and sort all your beads by color. All of a sudden your beads look really different. And then you see a bead that really inspires you somewhere along the way. And you're like, oh, I want to really I've had that bead for 10 years. I really want to make something with it. And it will get you going again. I think it's just like in general, you always feel better when your house is clean, when the things are in order.
Oh, big time. And actually, I see you guys shared my YouTube. So if you want to, the first quarter, 3 months of this year, I took every single bead I own and sorted them. And I know everyone in this knows like what kind of an undertaking that is. I literally took every single bead and sorted them. So they are all now by rainbow, and they are all now like within the rainbow. It's like, this is the white, solid white, but solid white that's round and, has no,
Wow.
has no other, nothing done to it. It's not, it's not shaped in any way. It's just a round bead. These ones are funky shaped. These ones are large. These ones are seed beads. Every bead that I own is now. So, and you know what? That has made such an incredible difference. The other thing that does for me now is I happen to know I'm very low on green beads. So, if that shopping bug hits, at least I now know I use green. That's why I'm low. So that's one of those things where I'm like, oh, I know what colors to be aiming at. But actually, I documented that whole process in a couple of videos that are up on the YouTube for anybody that's like, I want to see someone else organize their beads.
Yeah, and if you guys are
There's a couple over there for anybody that's, after this is going, I actually think I would like to. But it took me full 3 months to do it. Just because, you kind of get like, okay, I'm over this, or okay, I don't want to do this anymore, or not today, or not this week, and then just keep coming back to it.
I know. I'm kind of feeling that about my entire house. I've let things build up in all of the rooms throughout the house. I'm like, one of these days, I'm going to go through like a deep cleaning phase, and I'm just going to tear out so many things and be like, I'm going to Marie Kondo this house. Like, this does not bring me joy to have so many things. Get it out of here.
You know what? And I feel like there's been like phases of my life where like the clutter or the too much didn't even faze me. And I was like, no, I know where everything is and I've got it. That's fine. I just am now old enough now where I'm getting all those lovely middle-aged lady stuff going on. And I'm like, no, I want everything gone. Like, not everything, but I want like minimalist. I am overwhelmed by everything, and it doesn't make sense to me, but it is what it is. And so, I'm leaning that way too. And I've just started here in the studio with things like, okay, the beads were literally half of a closet. And once I got them organized, it's like 3 little bins plus the 2 little standing drawer things that I have. I'm like, whatever. It's how it was. It was disorganized to a point that it seemed way bigger than it really was, and it was overwhelming. So, yes, I'm here to support you all if you guys decide to do a reorganization. It's not fun to take especially I had all the trays, right? So getting in there and picking the beads out of the trays and everything. It was actually inspired by my biggest tray of beads fell off the desk on the floor. And I'm not kidding you. I'll get you a jar. It was 3 of these worth of beads.
No,
onto the ground, and it was already mixed in it wasn't just strands or anything. So that was the tipping point. I went, well, I can't fight this anymore. It's time now. The universe has decided now is the time, because I have 3 giant jars of beads that just
on the floor.
What are you gonna do? I don't want to throw them away or give up. Or just sweep them and be done. I love these beads. So sometimes you don't get a choice.
Kristen has always been much better at this than I am. I just posted a comment where she said, just get it all out. And that's like, I feel like I've always admired how she handles things like that. I don't know.
It's not easy.
Just me holding on to things. I think each of my kids is, and we're holding on to them for different reasons.
Yes.
Like even like baby toys, like those remind them of like a time when they don't play with them anymore. They remind them of something, or it's something that reminds them of their dad, or it reminds me of their dad, or just like something that we're like, will I use this someday? Maybe I will, but probably not. Like I probably need to okay, probably not. And it makes more room for more beads, of course, which
it does. And something
makes
I've
sense.
always done is I will put stuff that I'm feeling like, I don't know if I can let it go, but I know logically I really don't need this. And this really isn't, like something that's serving me or is ever going to be used again. I put it in a box and put it either in the garage or the back of the closet. And I put a date, what date I sealed the box. And then the next time I happen to notice the box, 6 months, a year, 2 years, I'll open it. And if anything in there is like jumping out at me, like, yay, it stays. And anything that I've not thought of once since I boxed it goes. And that's works really well because it kind of gives me that like the grace period, right? The grace period or the like, what if I was wrong? Because I have been wrong before. I remember I did a closet purge and I got rid of these dresses they're like costumey. I'm never going to do that again. And then lo and behold, 3 months later, I'm looking around. Where's that funky dress? I have a like costumey kind of a thing. I gave it away. I was too fast. So yeah, I try to give myself that little grace period to see how, if I go looking for it, I'll find it. But if I don't go looking for it at any point and I'm feeling nothing looking at it, then we can let that go.
Yeah, I see a lot of comments going by that other people totally are feeling this as well. I noticed this one from Carrot said, I think we all have a tendency to hold on to stuff. It's hard. And I agree. And I think it takes a particular kind of person to be into jewelry making and to collect beads. And I imagine if you have an eye for this kind of thing, you probably are a collector of other things too, just naturally. So it's probably like in this group of people, we probably have a few dragon hoarders amongst us who have been hoarding their jewels, right? And but it's always nice to remember there are people around you, neighbors, your postal worker, your hairstylist that don't make jewelry, that love to receive jewelry. So it's always nice if you can't make jewelry for yourself or you're making stuff that just doesn't work for you, you can always give that jewelry away as a gift too, and it will really lift someone else's day. Or take it apart and reuse those parts and make something you do really love that you are actually going to wear. Tina says, I don't want to get rid of anything.
You know what? That's okay too. I went through a phase where it was just add more because I was making enough and doing enough. Like my output was enough that it worked. And that's why I've been focusing too on like upcycling or reworking. So things feel kind of fresh or things, I don't feel like, oh, I'm in this huge no spend. That's not exactly a no spend if it's, something I'll use right away. Just kind of adjusting what would be my spending criteria, as well as looking around and like trying to make challenges basically. Like, okay, what would I do with these beads or with this charm or with, it could be anything in here. Even like my scrapbooking now, it's mostly like ephemera or like tickets or whatever from wherever I happen to be. And then I'll just put that in instead of going and buying stickers or, just kind of different mixing up stuff so that I feel like I'm still having as much fun without as much shopping. And slowly things are coming back down. Things are still pretty gnarly in some areas in here just because you have to pull everything out. And then if I'm deciding, it's like, well, no, there's a stack over there for the deciding. I'll get to that. It needs a few more months and then I'll get to that.
Right.
Because I do like seeing what I have to work with.
Yeah, totally. Well, for everybody who's just joined us, we have May here. I am doing a giveaway. You can find the details at the bottom of the screen to enter. I'm not sure what I'm giving away. I think I'm going to let Thomas decide today. So definitely butter him up in the comments so that you get the best giveaway gift possible. You can only enter once, just hashtag Beltane, which is the kit that May will be using today, into the comments, and just once will get you an entry. If you do it twice, it won't count you. So don't bother. And you must be here at the end to win. I sent May a Beltane design kit. You can kind of see that out on her table looking quite beautiful. And she's got an idea. I think she's putting together there today. I also brought home a bunch of goodies that are going into our live sale tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern on the Softflix Company shopping app, on the website, Facebook, or Instagram. I grabbed them from Rosa yesterday. She's got some tourmaline. She's got some great check glass beads.
Ooh.
I grabbed a Green Girl Studios piece. And then I've got some of those beautiful Bali silver beads. And then these just happened to go online, I think today. I didn't check to see that they're actually up yet, but I think they were going online today, sometime today. And they almost match. I was like, how did that happen? I mean,
Those are beautiful.
Two separate picks. But we added this to our rainbow assortment of beads. You can only buy them as in singles, not in a bundle. But they are available in the singles to purchase. It's a beautiful bright pink, a gorgeous chocolate brown, and then, of course, we needed a turquoise, which just happens to match these little guys over here perfectly. So I grabbed those out too because I thought, boy, I gotta work those in somewhere. And then one last thing, I added a new goodie bag. It is, I think, I want to say it's Stars and Stripes, but I'm not certain what name we landed on. Maybe Thomas can post it into the comments. It's a red, white, and blue goodie bag, and that goodie bag is for sale at 25% off, but you get free shipping on all orders of any size this week. It's automatic, no coupon needed for, I think, either discount. And then if you spend over $99, we will give you a Stars and Stripes trio as well for free. That you need a coupon code for. Let me see if Kristen, oh yeah, she's so good. She always just loads me up with what I need. 25% off on the goodie bag, free shipping on all US orders, no coupon needed. And then the coupon code for the free trio on orders over $99 is Stars and Stripes. Stars and Stripes. Oh, wait, no, maybe it's just a 15% off. Okay, we switched it so many times this morning. Excuse me, let me back up. 15% off on Stars and Stripes trio with coupon code Stars and Stripes. No free trio. We switched it from that when we did the free shipping, I think. So I've got it confused in my head, but we'll get it straight here. There is that coupon code, Stars and Stripes. And there is the free shipping. We have had so much going on because we're doing a new taxing system. And it has been kind of frustrating. So for all of you out there who have never talked about Nexus, God bless you. I wish I was you. There are these Nexus rules in every state, all 50 states, and they're all different for each state. And if you reach Nexus, you're supposed to collect sales tax from all 50 states, whichever state you reach Nexus in. So we've been working this out. It's such a complicated system. We've been working so hard to be able to make sure we're paying the right tax for sales tax. And so that was what my morning was spent on. And then on top of it, all of a sudden, our website stopped showing first class shipping, and we still don't know why. So that's why we switched to free shipping on everything, because we didn't want you to be detoured from buying because you weren't getting a good shipping rate. And so we're doing free shipping on every order for the next week while we work on fixing that too. But I'd say those are like my two least favorite things about managing a business: taxes and shipping. They're both hitting hard right now. So forgive us as we work through it. Okay, May, I'm going to come to your desk and then I'm going to break the beads and figure out what I'm doing.
So the big thing at the start, what I talked about is And by the way, I just love all the colors in here. These are all so much fun. There's so many, like, I mean, there's just so many things that I'm absolutely loving in this kit and I want to use in different ways. But today what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick true to what I've been doing. So what I realized is when I make jewelry, I get really into the art of it and I love to do that. However, if we're getting super into the art of the jewelry, sometimes what happens for me at least is I forget about the wearability of my jewelry. And what really ends up happening for me a ton, I'll be interested if anybody else does this, what ends up happening for me way too often is that I end up having jewelry in color combinations that are beautiful, but that don't go with my clothing. I especially love like really bold skirts, or like lots of colors, lots of different colors going on in my skirts. And then the jewelry I have between the metal choice that I made and the bead colors that I picked, the color combo never matches. And what I've realized in my little self-discovery here is that what I really, really need in this world is I need to be doing more solid color jewelry, or like one color. It doesn't have to be completely monochromatic. Like there's different colors of blue and teal here, and that's fine. But I realized that I absolutely have to make some solid colors, especially when I realized one of my favorite things is wearing multiple bracelets. And I can get the color combos I want. So I'm just stringing, by the way, I'm just stringing beads here on this bracelet. This was in the kit, the Soft Flex Medium, which is like basically I have an entire drawer of Soft Flex Medium because I use it. That's all I use. I love it. Well, I should clarify. Soft Flex is all I use. The medium is just almost always what I pick because I'm a little rough. And what was it my daughter said today? I'm always getting into goblin activities, and things can get a little damaged by my choices in activities that I'm getting into. So because of that, the medium works really well for me because it's sturdy, strong enough. I mean, I had a key to a barn and, horse barn, right? And use it a lot. That thing lasted for years. I found when we didn't have a horse anymore, I finally had to just cut it apart because it was not like I couldn't yank it apart. It was staying. It was soft flex wire. So I'm a big fan of that. And I'm doing a bracelet in these pretty blues because I feel like I know, like I said, now that I'm doing this work on, well, I need more wearable jewelry. The number one thing is I need more single color stuff. I need to do more stuff that, and I'm still having, by the way, I have a great time. It's super fun to design single color. I was just trying to be so creative with my color palettes that it was creative to a point that my own wardrobe did not own things in the color palettes I was trying to do. And I had the thought, do I want to make my wardrobe like super neutral and like lots of just single color type clothes? Nothing wrong with that. No, that's not really what I want. What I really want is to keep, my funky skirts and different stuff. Let's see, where am I? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, so I'm trying to be, I don't care. Like this one there's one more square used on this than like the rounded ones, and that doesn't bother me, but I just want to make sure I'm kind of got the same amount of beads on each side. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, is just trying to really focus design wise on what I wear. And what I'm noticing is like chunkier beads, but also funkier type design choices I'm going to wear or be more likely to wear if it's a bracelet or earrings. My necklaces, I really only wear the super simple necklaces. And I felt weird about that for a while because I kept thinking like, well, that's not very creative, or, you ought to do more, or you ought to, I don't know, like have some more interesting designs being made. But I went, but what's the point if I'm not going to wear it? Like, I can be as funky and creative as I want, but if I won't wear it, then why am I wasting, beads sitting on the wall? And, if I want something to sit on my wall, that's obviously totally fine. Let's see. Ooh, this is perfect. Okay, so this is going to be exactly perfect. I like it like 7 1/4 to 7 3/4. I don't like it too tight. And I'm sure many of you know, if you live in warm summer areas, my wrist, yeah, it's not, you can tell it's like 90 something degrees outside today. And the studio is the hottest room in the house. So the thing with that is that sometimes my wrists are going to swell up a little bit. So I always like it a little loose and also a little adjustable. I see Tina saying, don't usually wear necklaces. You know what? In the summer, like today, I was going to put a necklace on for you guys. And I went, May, you are going to be so annoyed by the sweat on your necklace. If you do that, leave it alone. Leave it alone. It's okay. Just don't wear you don't have to wear a necklace. You can make some jewelry. And that's the other thing is I have almost no bracelets. I almost never make them, but they're what I use and wear the most. So I'm like, okay, that kind of thing. So you know what? It kind of goes in like we were talking about looking around to, purge what you've got going on. It's kind of like that. Now, this is what I always do with bracelets. I have to turn them like so, because if I don't, I will promise you right now, I will make this bracelet so tight that it can't be turned. I will pull the beads so tight that I can't turn it in a circle so it can be my bracelet. And then I'll have a meltdown. We don't want that. I'll have a meltdown and then it won't work and I'll have to redo it, but I won't want to redo it. So I'll sit it on the shelf and then I'll say, why did I never finish that? And I'll pick it up and remind myself, you know how that goes.
I sadly do. I always like to talk about when Kristen told me that she was going to go buy the angry beater because she would get upset when she was making
oh.
And I
it's so easy to get agitated.
She should have like bought angrybeater.com or something.
Oh, how funny.
It's just such a good, it's a good handle.
The thing I don't worry about here, I don't know about you guys, I don't worry about if it's a tiny bit loose because I have the little crimp covers, right? So if it's a little bit, I'd rather have it be like the tiniest bit loose and use a crimp cover to kind of soak up that space. Because I know I'm betting every single person in here has done this where they go to turn them or like get the bracelet to be in a circle and it goes and it's too tight and it won't do it. That's no good. We don't want that. So I also have this attached. This is just a little bit of chain that I found because I like to have it adjustable. Like I said, I'm not afraid to admit, I get the little bit of swelling here and there. And if I see it's not quite, like if I see, like it's a little looser than I thought, I can get in here and pull it. And if my fingers can't pull it, then there's that lovely, I can get some lovely little pliers in here to pull it if I need to. And the other thing I really like about the Softflex too is I can really mess with it quite a bit and get it to play nice with me. It's very forgiving, at least for me. And if I go to clip this off and then I go, oh no, like that was way too much, it's not a problem. I can clip it off and we can adjust and readjust as much as I need. I can even clip it all the way off, right at the crimp. And I really appreciate that because, if I can't adjust it, it doesn't always work well. And now we'll see. I feel like it's playing nice. Everything seems to be playing nice today, and I really appreciate that. Thank you, jewelry. Oh, yeah, I'm happy with that. The big thing that I had to learn and that I had a really hard time with, probably the hardest thing I had was getting myself to a point where I could be okay, like slowing down enough to do this. This step that I just did, guys, if you are having a lot of difficulty getting yourself, or you're having a lot of problems like, I was doing great, but then, and I can't see well enough to keep the actual crimping part. So we're going to be crimping here. I just can't see well enough to do it without it being right up in my face. It's probably time for new glasses. So I'm spinning it around and doing the thing that we need to do here. But yeah, that's probably the thing that took me the longest to learn was like, just slow down in that part. You're not in a rush to finish. Slow it down and let yourself, take a look at it. Are you happy with it? And then I'm actually good with it, like right where it is. So I won't be saving very much chain on this one.
You mentioned your daughter. Do you have more than one kid?
I do. I have 2 daughters, and then I'll just do like an inch here. I do like, if I'm happy with it where it is, I'm still adding an inch because I don't know. I don't think I have super swollen wrists today. All of us who have that happen, right? We know what that's like. And now I can't see where I cut it. Of course I can't.
I ask because I feel like when you're a mom, we get in a habit of like, we have to rush.
Yes. I have 2 daughters, and I think you're absolutely, oh, there it is. Okay, there's the one. I do think that's absolutely something that happens, especially since it just kind of becomes normal. Where like, oh no, I don't get to just kind of like take my time or slow down. That's actually taken me a lot of time to realize like, no, like they're grown. Calm down, lady. Like they're grown now, calm down, but also like it's okay to slow down and not, you know what, I don't want wire. I'm gonna grab a head pin because I like to add like a little dangly right at the end because I like to have little dangles. And I saw somebody else saying that they like to put on as many bracelets as they can. That sounds like fun. And that's going to be my next self-challenge once, I make enough bracelets to have a stack of bracelets to wear, since I pulled so much apart. But I got to tell you guys, if you're doing something, and I'm just going to grab that head pin. If you're doing, your jewelry making and you're not feeling real happy with it, or you're feeling like, I don't like how this turned out, do not hesitate to go ahead and pull it apart. Pull it apart. Because you know what? That's probably the best thing I ever do is yanking stuff apart. And let's see. These are all the eyes. Okay. Well, we'll do that. So apparently I've gone and misplaced. So I have a couple of containers. You guys probably will recognize like all the drawers slide in, but the drawers also pull out. So things like, I know I was talking about the white beads. I thought I was going to need white beads today because whenever I don't bring them over, I think, oh, I should have brought the white beads. So I have them out here, and I have my seed beads too, because you never know, right?
Yep.
I'm going to go with, but my gold head pins are not where they ought to be, which is super duper weird because they should be there, but instead it's gold eye pins. I'll figure it out later. But I actually like this because I guarantee you I have some little charm somewhere that will look cute hanging off the end of this. Just something little. There is actually a really cute one in the kit, and that would be so, so cute. Except I'd really like to make 2 earrings. So instead of using that one, I'll do this, and then I will, at some later point here, I'll figure out like, okay, well, what do I have that I would really like to use here? And as soon as I do, I will attach it and I will share pictures because that's always fun, I think. And I always like to do head pin, eye pin, some sort of wire when I'm doing these because I am cursed. So jump rings and I, we don't have a relationship, jump rings and I, because we're just, as my daughter said, right? I'm just a little bit too rough for the poor things. And we tend to have problems. So jump rings and I just don't. We just, we're separated. We respect each other. We just choose to not visit each other, and that seems to work out pretty well. I have purchased jewelry with jump rings and I've almost never had a problem. But if I make the jewelry with any jump rings, it's fallen apart. It just every time, no matter what. So that's why if you ever wonder, like, gosh, she really like adds a lot of wire and stuff to things that maybe a jump ring could do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do every single time. But look how fun that is. I love that. I love making little charms. And I love bracelets with little dangles. That's just, and this is one of those things where, when I'm evaluating what do I wear, well, I like to wear bracelets that have little danglies off them. So I try to incorporate more of those. And on the earring front, so I made one. I started to make one right before we went live, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then, okay, well, we'll make the other one. So this one will be super easy. It's just some gold wire. I think, let's see. I'm using 22 gauge. I'm pretty flexible here, on like, I tend to be, I was actually just speaking to my daughters about this, that I tend to be very non-technical, right? I know what I'm after. And as long as I get what I want, that sounds like such a bratty thing to say, but as long as I get what I want out of whatever I'm making, I don't really care. Right. So I remember I was trying to follow a tutorial and it was like, oh, well, you're going to need this gauge, and I didn't have it. And I thought, well, shoot, I can't do it. And then I went, well, what's the worst that happens? And you know what? I liked how mine turned out. So it was just fine. So all I'm doing is making a little loop and wrapping around. Jenny's saying she likes the colors we chose for this. This set is so much fun. It really, really is. And I actually think the orange, I'm going to do something fall. Like, I think something similar to this bracelet. Because
I love those orange beads.
When it's autumn and I'm a Disney girl, I'm a Halloween girl, I'm going to do something that's very specifically fall, and I don't know, maybe some like ink dyed leaves of some sort. I don't know.
We'll have to show you what I ended up doing with them. I have it here. It's just kind of buried. Let me see if I can get to it.
Yeah. So what I do with this is that's where the earring is going to attach. So I just have to remember I'm working upside down, and I need to start with the top, which, just these beads. But I don't feel like I have to tell anybody here. I feel like you guys know the Soft Flex kits are always so fun. They're always so full of fun stuff. And I know there's a live sale coming, which now I'm going to have to see what my schedule's like tomorrow, because the Soft Flex live sales are always so much fun for me, but they're also a green light for me to buy, because when I was going through the bead reorganization, well, guess what? Not one single I did find 2 packages, embarrassingly, that were Soft Flex live sale purchases that I had never even opened. And that's embarrassing, I know, but you know what? Like, none of us are, like, things happen.
To open them.
Things happen, and I'd get overwhelmed and just kind of like put it in there and be like, okay, well, we'll open this up later.
Yeah, totally.
But later didn't come, and that's it. It is what it is.
Eventually,
but not a single one of those purchases that I made ended up in the giveaway box. So I'm like, okay, so Soft Flex live sales, I can shop because I know I'm buying stuff that I actually use and want to use.
How cute is that?
So cute. So now I have my earring. See, now I've got my like light blue, or I feel like it'll work for light blue, but it'll also work for anything with like teal or aqua or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So now I've got that.
Or with neutral colors, like if you were wearing cream,
yes,
or you were wearing black or gray, this would look really beautiful.
Yeah, and as soon as I realized, I was looking at, I don't know where I'm going with this. So I'll have to update you guys another day, because I started to look that way, and then I went, I don't know if I know where I'm going here. And then I went, that's okay, just don't.
Well, you're making that second earring. I'm going to click over here.
Oh, yeah. Let's see what you're doing.
How I ended up using those orange beads. I made a spoof off of Kristen's design because she made a design, an asymmetrical design with this kit. And I just like fell totally in love with it.
Oh yeah.
So that I was like, okay, I'm gonna make my own version. So
Oh, I
mine's a
love
little
the
bit different than yours,
flowers
but
too.
I liked how you could mix it in with the beautiful turquoise and yellow that I typically love wearing. And I found I can wear this with a lot of different things, which is good too. And then while I have you guys over here, I worked on two separate designs that have nothing to do with each other than they were the beads that were on my table that are going in the live sale tomorrow. So I originally had thought this green, which is almost like a green tourmaline, it's the same shape that May is using, but in just a really gorgeous, almost green tourmaline color. I thought it would look good with this pink tourmaline and maybe the turquoise. But when I put it together, I was like, I don't really like it. So I retooled it and focused just on the pinks and the tourmaline and some of that silver spacers. I'm going to add in a clasp here in a minute from Green Girl Studios. And then I liked it a lot better. So then I was like, well, what about these green ones? I don't want to just not use them. So I pulled out some of the blues or the yellows. I think this is from the Carnival. Yeah, the Carnival bead mix that you can get on the website now. It had this bead in it. It had the bead frames, the yellow crystals, the cage beads, all mixed in there. And I like it so much better with yellow.
I love that with the yellow. I wouldn't have thought that if you had first come to me with those green beads, but oh my gosh, that's perfect.
I know, I like it. So I don't love them together. I thought they would marry better, but they didn't. But it's fine. It worked out. And now I have two different things. A quick crimping tutorial while I've got you here. I'm using this Green Girl Studios anchor piece. It's a great little toggle piece that you'll be able to find in the live sale tomorrow. And I wanted to show you how I'm going to finish this off. So I'm going to take my 2x2 millimeter crimp tube. I'm going to click into the Green Girl Studios piece, come back into the crimp tube, and bring that crimp almost back, but leave enough room that this can really wiggle around and feel comfortable. I'm going to get my wires side by side and grab up my magical crimping pliers, which have a little divot that's identical on both sides. Center that crimp tube. The first pass should give you a little square, almost ravioli looking shape. Go in sideways and compress and just go around and around, tightening that all down. What it does is it turns that crimp tube into a bead and it anchors it into the nylon coating of the wire, and it gives you a really strong connection. And then you don't need a crimp cover. You can slide in and trim with your cutters and then pull your beads down. On this other side, what I'm going to do, I think, is probably make a seed bead loop. Usually I just use a soft flex loop because that looks great too. Thinking if I have one on my wrist. I don't. Oh, I have one on this necklace. You can do something like this. It's kind of a similar function as a button. It's just a loop of soft flex that's crimped, but this time I'm going to string some of the crimps over the top of it so we can see what that looks like as another option, especially since these crimps match just so perfectly with the design. So stay tuned. I'm going to head back over to May and I'll work on that while she is showing you final details.
So I was just writing. So this is my little journal that I keep. I actually just wrote seed bead loop. So I will do stuff like this and I'll add some more notes later. But when I see something that reminds me like, oh my gosh, like that's something I want to do, or that's something I forget I can do. I have enough seed beads. I'm sure most of us do. It really, I like looking through there and reminding myself, yeah, so I've got my earrings. And you know what? If I got beads this size, 2 is really what I want. Any much longer or much heavier, and I'm just not going to wear them. They're too long or too heavy. But I love the little bows in this kit. I think they're so cute for earrings. Like, And I feel like too, these are going to be fine for any occasion. I could be going to dinner. It could just be a Tuesday, whatever. Like I've got fun little earrings and they're going to match. I love that they're going to match. That's actually why I wanted to use this big darker bead so that it would also really more match the earrings. So that's something, sets are something some people are so good about. I just tend to just run off and start doing an idea and then not think about slowing down. But I'm excited. I really like these. And I think that these are so smooth and are going to feel so nice to wear as well.
I love a good set.
I'm super happy. I'm like, yay, like check. We need like 3 of every color in the rainbow. I feel like so you can't have too much jewelry.
I feel you.
Well, it depends, if I'm going to be around little kids, I'm going to wear my studs that have the locking back. I'm not going to let a toddler rip my earring out. But then again, if I'm going to tea or going shopping, a little bigger or a little more dangle, and my hair is long enough these days that, how do I want to wear it up or down? That's going to affect what earrings I might wear. But yeah, I feel like poor earrings and bracelets I've neglected too much because I always think I'm going to wear more necklaces than I do. So.
Okay, I'm going to test this out before I test it out before I crimp it. So
Oh yeah. Oh, look how pretty.
I put my little bead stopper on it. I'm going to make sure this is going to fit, especially if it's for me, or whoever I'm making it for. So this will slip inside one side of this toggle. It's a little easier without the bead stopper on there, but we'll get it. It's going to slip in one side. It should slip around the entire thing like that. And then this will anchor it so it connects like that. Isn't that adorable, you guys?
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
I love it. It's a perfect size.
And you know what, guys? If you're having trouble with your crimps, make sure they're soft flex crimps. And I say that because I used to think it didn't matter. And then I realized that a lot of the crimps that I had that were either breaking or having some kind of a problem, they weren't quality. And in fact, it was the crimp failing or just being bad metal or a bad process or whatever, and causing me grief when, I'm all for a good deal, but sometimes quality materials, you can't do without them. You need there are some things you have to have the quality material.
Yeah, for sure. And crimps and wire are two of those things. And the right crimps and wire together. Because the crimping pliers that I'm using, these were made by a woman in Arizona. And she specifically made them using soft flex beading wire as her test wire. And not all of the beading wire has the same kind of nylon coating. So sometimes people will come to me and be like, I just can't get my magical crimpers to work. And I'll do some troubleshooting and I'll say, okay, well, what diameter? And they'll say something like 0.18. And I'll be like, well, soft flex doesn't make 0.18. So are you using soft flex? And they'll say, no, it's this, XYZ brand. And I'll say, well, that might be the reason why. I mean, I don't have experience with, XYZ brand, but I do know the nylon coating is different. Some of them are slicker. Some of them are thinner than ours. So getting a really good crimp on your wire is going to take having a good quality crimp that's thick and strong, like a soft flex crimp, but also having a good wire with a good nylon coating that it can grip into easily is of importance too. There we go. I am so smitten with this little bracelet.
Oh, it's so cute. It's so good. And I love the little hints of the pink in there. Those little skulls are great. And you know what? You can wear that all year round. That's going to be so much fun to wear. And
I made a sugar skull bracelet back in October. I actually have it over here. And I wore this like all of October and November. And then I was like, oh, it just feels seasonal. I have to take it off now.
You know what though, with the like turquoise and the pink, it doesn't feel as seasonal.
It doesn't feel
That's
seasonal. I could
great.
wear it, and I could switch when it does get to October. I can be like, okay, I can switch over. Although I wear these colors in October and November and all year long. I love how this almost looks like a centerpiece, even
Oh
though it's
yeah.
not. Like you almost want to see it, but
And I feel like too with I'm gonna have to try seed bead loops on my bracelets because I feel like it gives you a little bit of that adjustable feel. It's not quite as locked. And I usually only want a little bit of wiggle, so I'm going to try that for my next bracelet because I'm going to bet that that will give me what I like about adjustable without having to dangle the chain. That I feel like that'll just give that little bit of adjustment ability.
I'm leaving that on my wrist for the rest of the
Oh
day.
yeah.
My treat. Okay, I'm coming to all of us here. I got my messy work desk.
I've got my new earrings on. They're just right.
Ooh.
I always try them on to make sure and like look in the mirror like nothing's funky, right? I've lost track of how many times like, oh, you put that on backwards, or oh, it's not a big deal. You can fix it easy. But I always, before I'm trying to like go out with something on, just give it a test.
Yeah.
Just give it a test. I will tell you, I basically quit trying to make myself jewelry because I broke so much of it until I discovered soft flex. There was a period there where I was just using beads on like mixed media art and like fabric arts and embroidery. I was not using beads for jewelry making for quite a few years. And then, because I just had nothing but failures, it was driving me nuts. And then I went, oh, it was just the quality of what I was being told.
Trying to catch a comment here from Kelly. Okay. I would not use crimps with seams on the magical crimpers. I would definitely use seamless solid tube crimps because they do really crunch down into the crimp. I think it would be tough if you had a seam. I think it would break open. And that's true with the other crimping pliers too, whether it's the Omterra or just the regular Eurotool crimping plier. All of them don't work really well with a tube that has a seam.
No, I would believe that because I know when I use my, like sometimes I think, oh gosh, am I going to break it? No, not when they're the seamless soft flex, they'll hold. Even if I get nervous, like, oh, am I going to break it rolling around here? No, yeah. I'm not.
Well, May, you live kind of in the neighborhood. I hope you'll come stop by Softflex sometime. Maybe we can grab a sandwich or.
I think that's I know that's a great idea. I love coming up to Sonoma. Anybody who's Northern California, go take the road trip out to Sonoma. I can tell you, I'm sure you can too. There's so many things to do out there and see out there and fun to be had. And it's beautiful all year round.
And we're available by appointment. If you call in and make an appointment in the gallery with your wholesale license, we can spend some time with you. But for you, anytime, May.
Thank you. I know I've got to come visit.
You can have your own personal live sale in the gallery.
Oh my gosh, you guys, that would be so much trouble.
I'll fill all those bead things back up again. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we'd get in some trouble then. I'd have to bring a list of like, okay, here's the colors and the sizes. General things. Yeah, I'm sorry, no more purple beads. They're overflowing. You love them too much. None of those, that kind of thing.
Linda asks, are there two versions of the magical crimpers? There are. The magical crimpers have been around for a while, so the inventor has had them manufactured in two different companies, and then they've had two different sizes from those two different companies. So there's probably about 4 or 5 options sort of floating around. The yellow handle typically, I think, was for 014. But can work with 0192 and I assume should be fine. I currently have the purple ones that are manufactured by the Beadsmith on behalf of that inventor. They're the manufacturer and distributor of the tool. Let's see.
Oh, Carol's asking about this. So what I was saying is it looked like the seed beads, like there's just that little bit of give. It's not as like locked. Normally when you go, normally it's like this, but with the seed bead, it's a little more like, oh, well, it can be like all the way pressed together. It can wiggle a little. It can, the toggle can wiggle a little within the loop.
Yeah. Oh, I have a giveaway. Thomas, I hope you decided what to give away. Did you guys compliment Thomas throughout the live so that he would give you a really excellent giveaway? Or did you forget all about him and now it's not going to be much of anything?
Ooh.
Oh, he's doing a goodie bag. You must have been really kind to him. Let me grab the share screen and we will get this up and going. So this is for a Stars and Stripes goodie bag. It is a bag that I personally put together. It's going to have a mix of beautiful red, white, and blue beads. It's got some gorgeous stuff in it. And then it has some softflex in it as well. I don't think it has any findings, so it's just mostly beads and wire. But it's a really nice mix of items. You can also, if you don't win, order it on the website. We have a very limited supply of them, not many, but you can order it on the website starting today. It's 25% off of what you would pay full price for everything in the goodie bag, but you also get free shipping. A lot of times we do our goodie bags 50% off, but you would have to pay shipping if you bought just the goodie bag. But we're doing free shipping on everything for everybody in the US this week. So it's a little bit smaller of a discount, but it all kind of washes out together. Okay, here we go. We've got 58 entries. This is your last chance if you want to enter. It's hashtag Beltane to win one of the goodie bags. Here we go. And when you are chosen, hopefully you are chosen, you let us know you're here in the comments. You must be here to claim your prize. It looks like it's Sandy Ross on YouTube. So Thomas will be looking for your, I'm looking for my StreamYard. There it is. Thomas will be looking for you in the comments. Let us know that you're here, Sandy. And then you're going to email info@softflexcompany.com. Let us know that you won the goodie bag. Make sure we have your shipping address. There she is. Let us know what your shipping address is so that we can get that right out to you. I will be back tomorrow with a really fun live sale. I mean, you saw a small snippet of what's going in it tomorrow. We've got some more new gemstones. We've got a lot of great check glass. We've got plenty of beautiful sparkly crystals to show you. And then lots of things also coming in still from Mike's collection that are new and unique and different. So I hope you'll join us. You can be added to our text chain. Thomas has the details posted there. Let me stop sharing that. And I'm just so glad I got to spend time with you today, May. Thank you.
Oh, you as well. This has been really fun, you guys. Thank you for having me.
Come back sometime soon. And I love everything that you made. And I just loved hearing about your creative adventure this year and kind of retooling everything that you're doing. It must feel really good.
It does. Sometimes it feels a little funky because I'm like, oh, that's too simple. That's wearable. I'm going to wear it. And that's the only thing that we can. Are you going to use it, wear it, or gift it, and will they like it? That's all that matters. It's okay if it's super simple.
Yeah. And it's okay sometimes to just go on the wild side too. Maybe not every single time.
I have a couple of necklaces that are very big and funky, and I do actually wear when it's, for the right outfit or the right occasion. So no, those ideas are welcome to come in too. I'm just reminding myself it's okay if it's simple because that's what I wear more. So that's okay too.
It was just a joy to spend time with you. Thank you for being here. I hope you guys will go check out May's YouTube channel. Is there anywhere else you would really like them to follow you?
I'm probably on YouTube and Instagram the most, but I'm over on Facebook too. So wherever you are, I try to share stuff across just so you don't miss anything, or, everybody's got their favorites, right? We've all got our favorite social media place to hang out. So
yeah,
I try to keep those 3 updated.
And then one last time, here's all 3 deals this week, 25% off the Stars and Stripes goodie bag. No coupon necessary. It's just set up that way. Free shipping on all US orders. No coupon needed. This is through next Tuesday while we get our shipping issue worked out. Hopefully, crossing my fingers, we get it worked out. And then, of course, we've got the 15% off Stars and Stripes trio. Use coupon Stars and Stripes. So that is that for today. So good to see all of you out there. I'll be back tomorrow. Also, one last thing. I will be back next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific, and I will be live at 1 p.m. Pacific moving forward. I am switching as my kids are going to go back to public school this year. I want to change my schedule now because it will fit my family's needs better. This was my pandemic schedule that I somehow got stuck in with them homeschooling and like just life happening for 5 years. But now I'm finally switching back to the 1 p.m. time that I originally had for many years before that. So you'll be able to find me next week at 1 p.m. and it'll align so that my show is at 1 p.m. and the live sale is at 1 p.m. on Thursday. Both Wednesday and Thursday, you'll find me here at 1. And hopefully that's easier for East Coasters who are probably trying to eat dinner when I go live at 6 p.m. Normally, I think it'll be better at 4. So hopefully you can still join me. If not, you can always watch things on replay. And I hope you understand it's just one of those things. I've got to get my schedule a little bit easier for my family, especially when they start school and they're coming and going. I got to be able to be available. All right. As you know, May, right?
Oh, yeah. There's always change going on, and that's okay. And you know what? I'm sure everybody wants to see you at your best, right? So if that's your best time, then that's even better.
I think so too. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye. It's great seeing everyone.